And what people need to realize is with Israel, for the last several years before 10/7, the mowing the grass strategy is what they called it ruefully in Israeli military circles. Basically, every so often Israel would wake up and kind of blow up some known missile caches, weapons caches. They clipped some Hamas guys, but primarily they left Hamas alone. And what was going on behind the scenes, this is not widely known. Netanyahu's policy was to pay Hamas off, was to bribe them to keep quiet. And
I think they were giving them weapons too.
They might have been giving them weapons too. I don't know, but I know they were definitely giving them money.
And I'm just saying on October 7th, a lot of those weapons that were pictured, actually Jim Hoft at Gateway Pundit called me that morning, October 8th, and he's like, hey, is this an Israeli weapon? He's sending me all these photos. I was like, yeah, that's Israeli.
Well, I have another crazy one for you.
Go ahead.
Hamas on October 7th were also sporting a lot of American weapons that might have been given to them by the Taliban.
I saw them. Yeah. Makes sense.
So
it makes sense. And back to that Taliban thing when we were talking about that years ago now.
Yeah. With the way they were
remember I pointed out to you that
the gun.
Well, no, not only the way they're holding the gun.
Yeah.
Like, dude, let's face the facts. Let's face the facts. Those people in the American uniforms were the Afghani Defense Force.
That's right. That's
because you did not see any bodies burning. They weren't putting any Afghani Defense Force and that was. People don't realize this isn't like some guys in the desert that are special forces trained to be insurgents. This was a full-blown army with ceremonies, uniforms, halls. I mean, it was huge. And they just disappeared. But all of a sudden you have...
After we abandoned Bagram was when everything folded away.
And I had never, to this day, I have not seen one body of the Afghan Defense Force displayed by the Taliban. And, oh, by the way, we don't talk about ISIS-K anymore.
Yeah. Because some people do.
Because they're idiots. Well, I remember Anthony Blinken...
colleagues at CIA are...
I know. They suck.
I have a couple here who are insistent that ISIS-K is in the country now, getting ready to launch attacks during these riots.
Right, of course. I mean, they actually might be because... according to Anthony Blinken in July of 2020, when was he? 21? When did Afghanistan fell?
August 21.
In July of 2021, Anthony Blinken, in an official document that I still have at the State Department, said the Khorasan group, which was what ISIS-K was, is no longer a threat. They've moved most of their operations to North Africa.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, we have Anthony Blinken saying, oh my God, the ISIS-K, which is the other name of Khorasan Group, has moved. They're just sweeping across Afghanistan, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, ISIS-K is a dusted off bullshit puppet that you guys are you're making this up.
Remember, ISIS-K was the group in 2017 Trump dropped the Moab on in Afghanistan.
Yes.
So this has been a,
don't forget they come out of Syria. At best, it was 68.
That's right.
It was 68, like ISIS, not even ISIS, Al-Qaeda veterans.
Right. That's right.
So they're not like spring chickens who, came from Syria. They were, what was his name? The planner that they caught from Syria back in the Al-Qaeda days.
The bomb maker?
Yeah.
Not Ramzi.
Not Ramzi.
Ramzi al-Yusuf? No.
No. He's very, very well-known name. I just having a brain freeze right now. I've been on all day. But the thing is... Nope.
No.
He always... I'll look it up. I'll put in the definition. But the point is, they were not a threat. And then all of a sudden, because the United States knew that they can't have the American under Biden. They knew they couldn't have the American people against Taliban. Why?
Right, because they were making a deal with them.
Well, not only that, we're going to ship them into this country, and they already made a deal with China.
Right.
And Taliban basically provides the access and the security to Chinese geologists so they could keep on mining the hell out of those semi-precious minerals.
They gave them Bagram.
Yes, they gave him the
Yeah.
whole country. So the point is, like, you got Blinken saying, "Oh, ISIS-K is not a thing," and then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, ISIS-K." And do you remember in 2021 the Biden administration was actually trying to get the American people to cheer for the Taliban?
Yeah, I do. I remember that. Well, this is, by the way,
Just,
this was a Joe Biden thing in the Obama years, because when Obama was talking about drawing down, I don't know if you remember this. Bob Woodward talks about this in the book Obama's Wars, and I believe
Woodward,
it's,
when
yeah,
he's not talking about
yeah,
deep
and
throat,
I believe this is true because I've heard Biden say this when Biden was a
right?
senator. He would talk like this too. Biden used to say, "There's a difference between Al Qaeda and the Taliban, and we can do business with the Taliban."
Oh my
And so
God,
this
no,
was
I
a
never heard this.
consistent. Oh, this goes back 20 years at least. This was a consistent talking point of Team Biden going back to 2008 or 9. Okay, this was a consistent point. This is Antony Blinken, because Antony Blinken, people don't realize, has been with Biden since the beginning. So for 20
Mm-hmm.
years he's
Oh
been
yeah,
with
no,
Biden.
I know.
This was
Yeah.
this was the brains trust around Biden going back to his Senate days. Oh, there's a difference between the Taliban and Al Qaeda. We could do business with one, but not the other. Yeah. So
Do you know
that's,
Blinken has a garage band?
yes, I do. Yes,
Do
it's
you
called
know the name of it?
The Losers.
No,
No,
you
I
know what the
don't.
name of it is? This will
No, I
piss
don't.
you off. Abe Lincoln.
Oh, for God's sake. And then we wonder why, like, no other country takes us seriously when that guy was
Abe
our lead
Lincoln, man.
document. Meanwhile, Russia has Sergei Lavrov, who's like one of the most proficient diplomats in the world. They will write histories about him. It's just what an embarrassment.
That really threw you, right? The Abe
Yeah,
Lincoln thing.
the Abe
What a
Lincoln,
what a
Lincoln
dick.
and Blinken.
You know. Well,
Yeah,
the thing is, but I mean, let me try to get us way back on a target here. Let's talk about Iran, and I know it all circles. You think the way I do. You must have some Irish in there because
I
we
do.
want to
I
give
do.
you the full
Yeah,
context.
yeah.
This is why I love having you on because we can go for hours. But
We
let's
do.
let's pivot here. Let's
Yeah.
pivot here for a lot of people. And by the way, everyone, definitely check out We the Brandon. It's at We the Brandon. His links are on there. Check it out. Follow this man. Listen to everything he says. You don't have to believe it. Do your own research, of course. That's
If you're like me and you're getting to that age at which your body sometimes just hurts all the time, please listen. Don't reach for another painkiller until you learn about this turmeric hack for pain and inflammation. You've probably already heard that turmeric is being used to fight inflammation and joint pain, but not all turmeric is created equal. Regular turmeric powder in your pantry will help you a little, but a leading pain doctor from Connecticut discovered a special turmeric extract that is 200 times more powerful than what you find in standard turmeric. And when he shared this turmeric secret with his patients, the results were extraordinary. This turmeric extract attacks pain at the source, turning it off like a light switch so that pain not only often goes away, but stays away. Dr. Josh, the brains behind it all, has spent 20 years helping hundreds of thousands of Americans finally break free from constant aches and stiffness. And his turmeric hack has been the backbone of their success. So don't engage, if you can avoid it, with expensive surgeries, pain injections, or inefficient over-the-counter medications with side effects. Greet pain-free living. It's incredible stuff. I started taking it regularly, and I really did notice a difference. Again, you can't just take any old turmeric. If you want to learn more about Dr. Josh's turmeric secret and the exact method for how to use it in your routine, go to goldenrevive.com/dailycloud. The link is right below this video in the description. Click on it and start your journey toward a pain-free, healthier life.
why he's what we call the Rain Man of geopolitics. I know he hates that, but the thing is,
She's tall.
keep an eye on what he's saying because Brandon's only his only motivation. He doesn't have an agenda. I know everyone he works for. I'm friends with one of his employers.
Yeah.
He will never be rich. And why will he never be rich unless he gets out of this business of media and sharing the truth? He'll never be rich because he refuses to get in any camp but the truth.
Right.
And by camps, I mean anyone that knows DC, there's a few camps. Let's lay them out. Tell me if I miss any. There's the Israeli camp.
Definitely.
There's the Qatari camp.
Definitely.
There's the Turkey camp.
Definitely.
There's the Russia camp.
Not as
And there's the
powerful, though. The Russian
not
camp
as
is not
powerful,
as
but if you're
So
in the
there's-
China camp, you get Russia camp as a bonus membership.
and Turkey sometimes too. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Turkey, they're kind of like,
But then you also have to remember you've got multinational firms, you've got the corporatists, you've got
Oh, you got the Chevron camp.
You got the well, that's I can't talk.
Hello,
about
Kim Iverson. But anyways, did I say that out loud? I say that out loud.
Caroline Run too. That's going down tonight, from what I understand. So,
Wait,
anyway,
what do you mean? Whoa,
I'll tell you offline.
Don't bury the lead.
It's not my story to break. I'll tell you offline.
Wait.
I'll tell you offline. It's not my story to break.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Might be time for a commercial break. But all right, so let's shift it back. You said something really interesting in the beginning of this. So we're on the brink of war with Iran. I'm scared to even check like the latest updates. But you mentioned something that I've been covering all week, and the reason why I wasn't up on Iran is because I literally was streaming KCAL, LA local CBS, and by the way, I got this like nasty gram from a conservative who said, KCAL, dude, I'm out. CBS, what are you thinking? I'm like, they're the only ones doing an unbroken stream.
Yeah.
I don't care who's doing it. Like, I don't want to hear Jack Posobiec or anyone else telling me their opinion on things. I just want to watch it.
Yeah. No, I got it.
You know?
I'm with you. I reference, if I think it's a legit thing they're saying, I'll reference Al Jazeera, and I hate Al Jazeera. RT, I'll reference RT if they've got a good story and I think it's and I can corroborate it. I'll go with it.
I will watch CNN if they're the ones giving me a live feed.
I agree, especially for this. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I think that
let me lead you in here. Let me give you a landing point. So Brandon said earlier, he thinks somehow these LA riots and maybe the No Kings things I was talking about today.
Yeah.